Hey guys, what's up? Catswag here. Today I'm just going to be wanting to discuss with you guys about the best endgame witch doctor build. Now this is not like other videos where I demonstrate a build, show it off, show what you want to do with this build, and show off the skills and that stuff. No, instead I'm just going to be discussing every single build that's viable for T6 and T5, and explaining the pros and cons of that build. Now, I've been playing a lot of Witch Doctor lately, and I've been playing both groups and single and a solo. I've been playing in groups of 2, 3, and 4, so I know basically all the pros and cons to every build. So let's go off to start off. I'll just name a few builds. The first one, which I'm running right here, this is the Star Metal Cookery build, which is probably the best build. Let me just head on to my inventory to show off the other ones. There is the Renho Flare build. There's the Doombringer build, along with fetishes. I don't like that much. I'm not going to be explaining this one. And there's the Jade build. And there's few variations into them. I'll be explaining them, such as the Poison Dog and the Zuni Master build. So, starting off with the Star Metal build. The Star Metal Cookery basically revolves around spamming Big Bad Voodoo and Fetish Army, since you reduce the cooldown every time your fetish is hit. So the good thing about this build is you're always going to be in Big Bad Voodoo all the time. Your fetishes are always to be up. They're almost always going to be up. Sorry. Now, some people actually think this is the best build for T6, and I do agree it is the best build in T6. But like I said, the pros, there's like you'll always be in Big Bad Voodoo all the time. What else? You'll get a lot of damage through that. Your fetishes will always be up without having using any skills or worry about them, because you'll just have to click one button and they're alive, and then they reduce the cooldown by themselves. You get a lot of CC because you get to use Piranha's Piranado. You get a lot of pets, a lot of utility, since this build you only need one item and 2 skills, and everything else is basically up to you. You only really need to have Big Bad Voodoo and Fetish Army with the Star Metal. All of the skills, you can choose whatever you want. Excuse me. Now, the cons to this build, you're not going to be able to CC with the Adling Toads. You're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to generate fetishes, since you're not going to be using any primary attack. You're not going to be using anything. You're not going to do any of your damage. Literally 100% of the damage is from your pets. You will not attack once. The only damage that you'll actually get is probably from piranhas. That's all you're going to be doing in this build. Which, some people find that boring. I honestly do not mind. Efficiency is my first priority while making builds. So yeah, you're not gonna be able to CC, since you're not using Adling Toads. You're not gonna be able to generate fetishes. So if your fetish army is down and you don't have them, if you don't have it up, you're not gonna be able to have any fetishes. Which is why I like to run with the Burning Dog. That's why I like to run this one, along with the Gargantuan. So if my fetish army is down, I can just use my zombie dog to attack, and then through just normal cooldown and Grave Injustice, it'll just reduce the cooldown, and I'll have it up by no time. That's the one downside to this build that I actually really care about. Everything else is okay. Your fetishes barely ever die. The only thing that can actually kill them is like a Mallet Lord. That's the only thing they actually seem to kill. This build is really good. It's really versatile, as I said before. You get to have a lot of pets out. You don't have to worry about summoning them, unlike the the Doombringer with the Adling Toads or something like that. Something where you have to summon your fetishes. I don't really like that much, because what if you walk into a Mallet Lord? It just one shots your fetishes, and then you're just gonna have to be spamming toads and like juking. It's just not that efficient, since your fetish sycophants minions or pets, they're not as strong as the one from Fetish Army. Fetish Army, they die from like 2 or 3 hits from a Mallet Lord. Your fetish sycophants, they die in 1. Even if you have a good gear, they're still gonna get one-shotted. So yeah, I think I've explained everything about the Star Metal Cookery. Overall, good build, lots of versatility. You get a lot of fetishes. You have room, since you're not using any primary skill, you have a room to use another skill. For me, I'm using Piranado along with Fetish Army. Usually, in most builds, you have to choose sometimes you will have to run. If you want to run fetish army and the piranhas, you're gonna have to sacrifice your zombie dog, which I don't really like because I want to have as much pets as possible and as much efficient DPS. Yeah, onto the Renho Flare build. Now let me just set up my skills real quick. For the Renho Flare, you're gonna have to run Plague of Toads, Addling Toads for the CC. Tiki Torches, you're gonna change that out to be where is it? Piranha's Wave of Mutilation. There it is. And the passives, all you're gonna do is just change Grave Injustice into Fetish Sycophants. That's all you're gonna do. Everything else is literally the same thing. You're gonna change anything. Now let's get into the Renho Flare build. The Renho Flare build, it's provides a lot of CC, as I said before, with the Addling Toads. It's very good if you can't really survive that well in T6 or T5 and you need some extra like survivability and you don't want to stack toughness, then this is probably the best build for you. What you do is the Renho Flare Ceremonial Knife, what it does is your toads from your Plague of Toads. As you can see, sometimes if you don't have it, you'll see they just go in every direction and they don't go to your target. Now what this does is it makes them home into their target, which they'll find the target, they'll run to it, they'll hop to it, they'll hit the target, and then they'll go through the target, and then they're going to hit another target, which basically it does twice the damage. And you'll get a lot of CC. If you're standing there and you're casting these, about 3 or 4 handfuls, you're going to get, if there's a lot of mobs, you're probably going to CC the whole screen. They're not going to do anything. This does work against elites and blue mobs. It works against everything except the Rift Guardian, and treasure goblins. So it's really good for CC. If I'm like carrying people, which I usually do a lot, because I get free keystones and I get to carry people and coach them. Most of my friends are actually people who are carried. I run this build because I almost always carry them on T6, so they're not going to be even if they usually don't do any damage, they don't help me at all. So I need some damage and extra survivability. So this is the build I use, since it gives me a lot of survivability, and I can still use the zombie dog and my regular skills. So it's really good. So pros, this build has a lot of CC. It's kind of fun too. You get to see your little toads hit things. And if you don't have this and you try to use it, you'll find it really irritating because like half of the toads don't even hit anything. So good CC, quite entertaining to play. What else? More control over your character. What I mean by that is, unlike the Star Metal where you have to rely on so many fetishes, this one you can actually summon them yourself. So you actually get to control your build better. Lots of build diversity too. You can also run Zombie Dog, Rabbit Dog with this to go full poison. Or what you can do is you can swap Addling Toads into Explosive Toads, which gives you a lot more damage. I think it's like not really double, like a half more, like 50% more damage, which that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't really like it. I don't really use that because I mean, your toad. The only reason you're going to be using the toads is to CC and get fetishes. If it didn't deal 190% damage, I'll still use it, because most of my the damage is coming from the fetishes and the dog anyway. This doesn't really. The only reason using this is for CC and fetishes. That's all the skills actually used for. So yeah, I feel that this is more of a utility / survivability build, unlike the Star Metal Cook creates more like offensive, full offense. Just pure offense, pure damage. The only survivability you're gonna get is from toughness and your pets as your meat shield. That's the only survivability you're ever gonna get, and it's just focused on summoning your fetishes, slam Big Bad Voodoo, and then just wreck face. That's all that build is used for. If you don't have enough damage with it, you'll notice that you're gonna die, because if those fetishes don't kill everything by the time Big Bad Voodoo is down, your fetish is also going to be down, because both Big Bad Voodoo and Fetish Army, they share the same uptime, 20 seconds. So if you don't kill that mob by 20 seconds, you're not going to be able to do this properly. You're going to need at least 1 million damage. Maybe you can squish in 950k, but you want to get around 1 million, and that's not really hard to get. As you can see, look at my Taskers and Theos. If I had this, if I had a better Tasker and Theos, I would probably get from 1.4 to like 1.55 or 1.6, something like that. If I got a good Tasker and Theos, definitely. Um, yeah, I don't. As you can see, I only have 8.2 million toughness. That's like, what are you doing? Only 8.2? How are you surviving this? How is it possible? Well, there's a little trick I've heard of. Everyone knows the Unity combo. You get a Unity on yourself, Unity on your follower. You get the thing so they can't die. You basically take 50% less damage. Now, what I do is I combine with the Ukapian Serpent. 29% of the damage you take is redirected to your dog. Basically, you're taking 20% of all damage. So basically, it's impossible for you to die. If you play it properly, you juke properly, you get in good position. Positioning is key for all Witch Doctors. If you play the Witch Doctor and you go on T6, you're going to notice that positioning is key. For the Red Hole Flare, you got to position it so your toads hit your targets most efficiently as possible, meaning they don't have to go far away. You know, it's a good distance, so the mobs are close enough so you hit them, you hit them often, and not too close that you don't get one-shotted by them. If you play a Witch Doctor, you're going to notice that positioning is key. For every build, every single build for the Witch Doctor, positioning is key. Positioning can change whether you can do T5, T6, or you're going to get killed in T5 or T6. It just comes from experience. You just have to know how to position it. You'll see later on, you're going to see that after you play Witch Doctor for a little bit, you try to go to T5, T6, you're going to notice that, oh my gosh, I really got to play smart this time. It's not like T4, T3, where you can just do whatever you want, mobs die. In T5 or T6, you need positioning. Positioning is key. I've said this many times because it is important. Because if you don't have good positioning, you're not going to get very far. You're going to have like 15-minute rift clear times. If you have good positioning, good strategy, good knowledge of the game, you're going to have like 10 minutes or less clear time. I've played a Witch Doctor enough to know this, and it's a very big deal. It's a very big deal. So, yeah. Let's continue. The Grim Reaper and Carnival. Grim Reaper is pretty bad. In all honesty, it's really, really bad. I don't like it at all. I tried it. I did like one rift. It took me like 15, 20 minutes to clear the whole rift. I did like no damage. It's just, in my opinion, Grim Reaper is good for... It's honestly just good for bounties. If you want to do some normal bounties and you want to do it quickly, Grim Reaper's the way to go. Grim Reaper's the way to go. If you find a Grim Reaper, don't bother going to T6 with it. You're just going to have a hard time. You're going to hate life. It won't be fun. And you try to do bounties with it, that's a whole different story. You're going to be killing everything really quickly because you're going to have queens everywhere. Just going to one-shot mobs everywhere. It'll be really fast. Carnival, now that's different. Your fetishes shoot a poison dart every time you do. Now, let's see what this looks like. I'm just going to give a quick demonstration just so you guys understand. This I'm probably going to explain this one a little bit more because, you know, it's kind of viable. I've seen a lot of people run it. I don't run it myself. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to poison dart, snake to the face, change piranhas to fetish army. People go Legion of Daggers. You probably should go Legion of Daggers since it gives you 8 fetishes, which that's mainly what you focus on. Now, let's show it off. See, okay, I'm going to summon my fetishes, and look. As you can see, they also shoot darts. Combined with the Starmetal Cookery. Now, this is what they do. They go Fetish Army, Carnival, Starmetal Cookery. They spam attacks, and since you can actually target your mobs, you can get Fetish Army up all the time. Like, I've played it. You can get them up all the time. And since it's based on your attack speed, they're going to attack much faster than they should. So, pros and cons of the Carnival. Let me just put this on right here. Pros and cons of the Carnival. I've run it a few times. I've run it for about 2 days. I think 2 or 3 days I've run it. The good thing about it is, like I said before, you're going to have a really high uptime on your fetishes. Your fetishes are going to be up all the time, which is good. Because that's what the Starmetal Cookery is lacking. So, like, if you're using the Starmetal Cookery with the normal Mask of Germ helm, what you're going to do is you're going to encounter a mob. You're going to kill it so quickly that your fetishes can't reset. So then what you're going to have to do is your fetish is going to die, you're going to run into a pack, and you're just going to try to juke it as hard as possible and let your zombie doctors kill everything. And that's going to really hurt your time. Because without your fetishes are going to probably do about, like, about 60 to 70% of your damage. Your zombie dog won't hit as hard as you. It will hit harder, but not as often. So your fetishes are probably your best bet. I like the Carnival. It gives you really reliable. You get to really be in control of your fetishes, which is really nice. But you cannot use the Mask of Jerem helm. And that is crucial. You can't use the helm. So what this means is you're not going to be able to have 100% increased damage on your pets. My dog hits for about 60 to 70 million on crit, sometimes 80 million on crit. If I use the Carnival, he's gonna probably hit for about 30 to 40 million. That's nothing. That's like T5 material. That's terrible. It should not. It should be at least hitting for 55 mil. That's the minimum it should be hitting for. So honestly, I don't have my heart set on this helm. It's a good helm if you find it, but you're gonna want to be sticking to the Mask of Jerem to experience. Mask of Jerem's just the way to go. Carnival is, yeah, okay. You know, it's something you would really have fun on in T5. T6, it's not that fun. It's really good if you're in a groups. If you're in a groups, feel free to use it. You just in a group Carnival Rex, in a group Renho Flare Rex. But I'm trying to talk about solo. I'm trying to get the pros and cons of solo and sort of touch into groups. So on to my next one. I'm going to be talking about the 4-piece Zuni along with the Ring of Royal Grandeur. But I don't have it on this character. I have it on my Jade, which I'm going to get into after this. So let me just put it on the helm just for now. I just want to show it off. I just want people to understand what's going on. So 4-piece Zuni. Your fetish army lasts until they die. Now let's see what happens. They're up. They last 20 seconds, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, they're not dead. What the hell? They're not dead. What? That's impossible. How did that happen? Well, the 4-piece Zuni, what it does is it makes your fetishes last forever. They not last forever. The cooldown on the thing, the uptime, does not affect them. So they'll last until they die. Basically what it says. I don't use this personally. I just don't like it because if you run the 3-piece Zuni with the Ring of Royal Grandeur. Okay, let's just demonstrate what it's going to look like. You're going to be using a Jerem Helm, Ring of Grandeur, 3-piece Zuni. You're going to be wanting the offhand, boots, chest. That's simple. You don't want to use anything else. What's going to happen is you can't use 2-piece canes. What you're going to want to do is you want to put a Hexing Pants Mr. Yan in your pants. You're going to want a Stamina Cookie for this build. You want Hexing Pants, 3-piece Zuni, Ring of Grandeur, all guilds. Anything else doesn't really matter. Sometimes most people follow up with a tall man's finger, but that's okay if you don't have it. What I don't like about this is you can't use 2-piece canes. You can't use 2-piece canes. And I really want to use 2-piece canes because 2-piece canes is really nice. It does give you 250 int, but that's nothing. That's not good. I really like 2-piece canes because you want to have a high attack speed because it affects your pets. That's really important. And you're gonna have to running a Ring of Grandeur. Now that's probably the deal breaker. If I didn't have to run the Grandeur ring, I'll probably will use this over the normal one I do. If you run a Ring of Royal Grandeur, you have to sacrifice either the Tall Man's Finger, the Unity, or a Sarge. Now that's a really big deal, especially for Witch Doctor, since most classes will use the Ring of Royal Grandeur all the time. Some classes do, some classes have to. For example, the Demon Hunter, they have to do it. Because if not, they sacrifice another inventory slot. Which is just a no-no. You can't do that. I'm not fully set on using a Ring of Royal Grandeur. I don't like it on this build. Mainly because once you get really geared, you stop using the 4-piece Zuni. The 4-piece Zuni usually stops around T4, T5. After you get to T6, I don't recommend using it. Some people do use it, some people make it work, but I personally, through experience, I just don't like it. Because while you're using this is why you don't want to use it. Stamina Cookery resets it. The cooldown is 120 seconds. They last for 20 seconds. Meaning, sorry, if each fetish attacks 6 times. Each fetish attacks 6 times. Wait, is that right? No, wait, let me do the math again. Okay, never mind. This is, they last for 20 seconds. If each fetish is hit more than once, let's just say that because I don't really feel like doing math right now. As you can see, it's like 4:12 a.m. right now. I'm just ready to head off to bed. So as long as your fetish is hit, as long as your fetish is hit like on a steady basis, they're going to be up before they even die. This is through experience. I've been running the Star Metal Cookie for about 3 weeks, non-stop, all the time. They will reset more often than they won't. Meaning, each time your fetishes are up, they're going to reset probably 4 out of the 5 times. Maybe one time you get unlucky, they don't reset. But that's not a huge deal, because you got your zombie dog and your gargantuan to back you up. And what people do, they run the 4-piece Zuni, is because they haven't experienced using the Star Metal Cookie as often, or they just don't want to think about the fetishes dying. Now that's okay. That's okay if you just want to kill mobs, do whatever you want, just kill mobs, that's it, blah blah, that's all you want to do. But if you want to be efficient, don't run 3-piece Zuni. Do not run 3-piece Zuni. I can't stress it enough. You do not want to run 3-piece Zuni if you have the choice. What you're going to want to do is you're going to be wanting to run 2-piece canes to get the attack speed, because your pets get really buffed to attack speed. You're going to be running 3-piece Argylds, Tall Man's Finger, Unity, or a Sarge, depending on what you want to do. It's whatever you want. You're going to be wanting a Ucapian Serpent. Thing of the Deep's okay. Just the best offhand you have. I recommend the Ucapian Serpent or the Thing of the Deep. Yeah, you don't need 3-piece Zuni. It's slightly overkill. It's exactly what it is. Actually, it's overkill. It's not necessary. You only want to be running 4-piece Zuni if you don't have the Star Metal Cookery. That's the only reason you'll be running 4-piece Zuni. That's the only reason you'll be wanting to run it. I couldn't think of any other reason why you would want to run it besides that. So, in conclusion, for the pet builders, okay, just for the pet build, Star Metal Cookery, 3-piece canes, 2-piece canes, 3-piece Argylds, with the Tall Man's Finger, Unity, or a Sarge is the best solo build. It is the best. Does not even come. The Red Hole Flare does not even come close. To give you some perspective, on a good rift or on a decent rift with my Star Metal, I cleared it about 8 to 9 minutes. With my Renho, it's about 9 to 12. Because the Renho really matters about the mob density, because your fetishes don't last forever. And you're going to have to be summoning them manually. You won't be using Fetish RP. You won't be running it. Okay? So, yeah. Star Metal is the best. Hands down, it is the best build. Because it gives you a lot of utility. Gives you a lot of damage. A shit ton of damage. Actually. Because it can be standing in Big Red Voodoo all the time. Which just skyrockets your DPS. To give you perspective again, with my damage 1.4 mil, if I'm standing in Big Bad Voodoo, it goes up to 1.65 mil, which is incredible. Oh, wait, no, it goes up to 1.8 mil. Sorry, it goes up to what was it? Sorry, let me just see. Never mind. It brings me up to 2 mil. I didn't know that. I guess it was 2. I think it's like 1.8 with my Renho. Bumps me up to 2 mil. Basically, I'm running around all the time with 2 mil damage, which is insane. So, now what we're going to do is we're going to be showing off the Jade. Now, I have a lot to talk about with the Jade. The Jade is probably going to take the whole most of the video. Now, let's just explain the Jade. Jade Harvester mainly, it basically is you put your dots, Locust Swarm and Haunt, you put them on enemies, you group them up with Piranha's Pyranado, you Soul Harvest, you keep doing that, rinse and repeat, all day, every day. It's... Some people really like it. I personally do not like it because the best thing about the Jade is it's really good on blue mobs. I one-shot blue mobs in T6, even with like 3 people in my party. I still one-shot blue mobs. Um, the elites, the yellows with the little white minions, I two-shot them, 2 to 3 shot them. I can't one-shot. I don't think it's even possible to one-shot the elites. I do one-shot treasure goblins, which is nice. But what I don't like about this is you get no survivability. You don't have any pets to help you tank. You are alone. You are literally alone, taking in the damage. Now, why is this bad? Because the only defensive skill you have is what the hell that called? Ghost Walk, something like that. Spirit Walk. Yeah, Spirit Walk. That's the only That's the only defensive thing you have. Pyronado to an extent, but that won't help you against elites. I don't really like this build that much. I do run it in parties if I'm teamed up with a monk, with a EP monk. I do use this build because what's gonna happen is he's gonna group them up. He's gonna EP them. He's gonna blind them. You're gonna go inside. You're gonna jade. As long as you kill one person, everything on the screen is going to explode, which is really cool. It's really fun too. It's really efficient. I get about 6 minutes clear time. 6 minutes clear time. On a normal density rift, I get about 6 to 7 minutes clear time. Sometimes I even get 5 minutes. One time I actually got a really good density rift. I killed it in 5 minutes, which is unbelievable. Excuse me. The Jade, I don't really like it running solo. I do it sometimes because I'm bored with the Star Medal. So, the pros, it's really good, really good if you have an EP monk. You're going to wreck everything. You could probably do T10 if there was. It's just disgusting how much damage it does. Solo, it's good. People think it's the best build. I don't think it's the best build. The people who think it's the best build for solo, they haven't tried the Star Metal Cookie build. You can see a video on my channel. I have a Jade build, I have a Star Metal build, I have a Red No Flare build. I even have a beginner Zuni build. I even have a Zuni-less T4 build that requires no specific gear. You guys can all watch those videos. You can see for yourself which one deals the most damage. So the cons, as I just said, you don't deal a lot of damage. You're very squishy, very squishy. You're gonna be, if you're out of Spirit Walk and you're next to Elite, he's gonna hit you. You're gonna get one-shotted. You don't have any pets, so if your Soul Harvest is on cooldown, you're not gonna be doing any damage. You're just gonna be waiting for it to go off cooldown. No meat shields, meaning you're not gonna be able to do anything. You're just gonna stand there, and you're gonna take all the damage. The only thing that can really defend you is Spirit Walk. And Pyronado. That's the only thing that's going to defend you. You can't one-shot elites, meaning that you're gonna have to wait twice the time to one-shot to kill that elite. You're gonna have to waiting for at least 8 seconds if I factor in Grave Injustice. So you're gonna have to Soul Harvest that. You're gonna have to dot it again. You're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait 8 full seconds each time you encounter the elite. You're gonna have to dot it up again. You're gonna have to Soul Harvest again, and then you're gonna have to move on to the next pack. It's as I said before, this build is very good if you have a monk. If you have a monk, definitely run this build. I'm not shit talking the Jade at all. It's a very good build. It's just really, you're gonna have to really focus on the build. You're gonna have to really concentrate on what's going on. You can't let your hand slip for a minute. So, yeah, I think I've covered every single build. I'm really tired. Currently, it's like 4:30. What time is it? 4:21. 4:20. YOLO. Okay. So, what I also wanted to say in this video, besides just explaining every build and explaining which one is the best, I've been running short on content to make videos, as you guys probably know. So, what I'm going to do is I want all you viewers, I want all the viewers, just write in the comments, just write anything you want, just write a build you want me to do, and I will do that. Just write if you think there's a viable build, but you don't have the gear for it, you don't have the time for it. For example, if you think, hey, run a I don't know, like a Manajuma's build. I'll do it for you. I'll do it. I'll see how far I can go. I'll take the time to read, to try it out, see what torment I can do, see what's good about it, what's bad about it, and I'll do it. I'll take my time to do it because I'm here to teach you guys what to do. And if I'm making videos that does not affect you guys, so if I don't make the videos to help you guys out, I'm not completing what I want to do. This channel is, I just want to help you guys out. I want to answer your questions that nobody else has answered. I mean, if you have a question, you're too afraid to answer, if you think people are going to judge you, don't. Just please, I'm like serious. I actually want you guys to just comment in the video. Just comment below. In any video, I'm going to read it because I have like no comments so far, which is kind of sad. Just write a comment in the video. Basically, just comment in the video. Just say, I want you, or Cat's back. I want you to make this build like this. So I want you to use these items to try to make this. I just want you to make a video like this. I want you to use these items and see how far you can go. I have a question about this. Just write down something. I will make a build for you. I will test it out. I will do it myself. I'll spend my time to make a vid. Spend my time to think about the build. Think of the most efficient way to do it, and then do it. So guys, seriously, I'm really running out of content. I have covered every single build from Grim Reaper, Jade, Star Metal, Renho Flare, Carnival, Zudimasa, no Zudimasa, Tall Man's Finger. I have done everything. So I'm kind of running out of content. So please just comment in the video. Just request a build. Just request any build. It can even not be. It doesn't have to be a witch doctor. I do have a barbarian. I do have a demon hunt. I do have a crusader. But it's not that good gear. Just request for a demon hunter or a barb. I will make the video for you. I will. Okay. So I'm here to help you guys out. I just want to help you guys out. I wanna just like kind of be like not like a teacher, more like a what's that word? Like a tutor. I want to be there to show you what to do, make you do it, and then that's it. That's all I want to do. That's all I really want to do. So yeah. Thanks for watching. Comment on this video, anything you want, any build, I'll answer it. I'll get back to you. Give me 2 days, I'll get back to you. Even 1 day, I'll get back to you. Subscribe if you want to see more content. Like the video if you enjoyed. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.